Audio now, sort of. See if I can get it over here. Audio now, sort of. There's audio, so I think you can hear me now. Buffering bad. I don't have any dropped frames. Tim is reporting buffering. Who else? Anyone else? Patch Monday. Hear you. Quite Doug. I'm not sure what quite Doug means. What am I showing you? I'm showing you this screen. That's better. I can hear you now. I don't even know how to describe what has happened so far. Ay, caramba. I'm going to show you my screen number 2, which is where I have XSplit. I can't even see what I'm doing. XSplit, the panels are just messed up. They're not right. I should be able to see what I'm sending out, but it's showing me this screen for some reason. Oh, here we go. Why did it do that? That was weird. So the first thing that happened, and I see the camera's wrong, so I'll go fix that. Change to video input, white balance around 5,000. Looks better anyway. So I had it all set up for the broadcast to go. I had the tabs open that I wanted, XSplit open, and then I turn on the lights, and then I have to reload the presentation in XSplit. Oh, I got to turn the headset on first. Turn the headset on first, then the image freezes and the camera setting goes back. Then I have to load the presentation for the camera setting to be right. But what happened is when it froze with these, that's supposed to be for a couple seconds, but it never did release. It never did unfreeze. So XSplit was completely frozen up. I had to go into Task Manager to end task on it. Then I relaunched it, and it came in with that screen messed up the way I showed it to you. And ay caramba. I have things lined up to show, so I'm going to go show that. I have some emails flagged for today. I'm going to have to mute myself once in a while to clear my throat. And then after unmuting, check the audio mixture to be sure that it's working. Here's an email that came in 1 hour ago. Google AdSense, check your recent payment. Google AdSense paid me. So, full disclosure, I'm going to show how much I got paid for my YouTube channel. We sent a payment for your AdSense account August 21st. If you haven't received it within 5 business days, please contact your bank for more details. So I got this other tab opened. See, I better click into that and be sure it doesn't expose something private. It does not. Except that some people would consider earnings to be private. I don't. Paid monthly if the total is at least $100, which is your payout threshold. So here's showing 0. Now they just told me on this email that they sent a payment August 21st, which is today. So that has not shown up yet in here. And then down here shows my last payment, July 21st, for $161.60. Then when you look down here, well, here's July, $0. It took me a couple double checks to realize what's going on here. The last payment I received for AdSense was July 21st, 2022. So it's been more than a year, well, 13 months, since my last payment from AdSense. Now, I believe that includes just the advertising revenue because my videos are monetized. And I think that also covers The things that you guys send during a show, whatever that's called. Super chats and super comments, super thanks is the other one. But it seems like it should have reached more than 100 with stuff during the year with all the different payments that have come through. They probably all added up to just over $100 during this last year. That kind of makes sense. Of course, that does not include what people send through Amazon. I don't have currently a convenient way to give a summary total of that. Okay, so that's all on that subject. Then let's go to Brian's email. Brian Lightfoot says, I had this prepared ahead of time, but you had more than enough topics for the Saturday session. He sent me this email just after the end of the Saturday session. All email addresses have been obscured. It should only take a minute or two of your daily showtime. It's another email scam that raised red flags with me from the start. Viewers might be interested, and if they ever receive something similar, be cautious or just try to call the person who claims that they'll not be available from their phone. So this is an email that came from somebody Brian knows. The media, the news media is still saying, don't open emails from people you don't know. And they don't include the caveat that scams can come from claiming to be from people you know and looking legitimate because they come from the right email address. And when a person claims they're not available from their phone, that should raise a red flag. So this comes from an acquaintance of Brian by the name of Althea, and he's hidden the actual email address. Subject checking in. Hi, how are you? Hope this email finds you well. Now that's kind of a greeting that, no, that's weird. Been thinking of you lately. Yeah, it could be a little creepy depending upon how well you know the person. Please let me know when you get this. Actually, I need a favor from you. I'd appreciate if you could email me back when you get this. So she didn't actually say don't call me. Now this was the first email. And then this one from Brian to Althea says, sure, no problem. This is just him saying, okay, sure, no problem. What do you need? Now, Brian also included internet headers here, and this was something that he went to check on. When you right-click on an email and go look at, inspect, where you can find the headers, and I'm not quite sure I'm going the right direction there. Is that the best way to do it? Copy image address. But anyway, he pulled this information out, where it has the address that it came from. His friend Althea at att.net is a legitimate address, but this scam artist created a different email address that used probably the same characters before the @ symbol, but at hotmail.com. So in the headers of the email, it's programmed so that when you reply to that email, it's going to automatically reply to the alternate address that the scammer wants. So Althea is never going to see Brian's actual reply because it's not going to that address. And then, so Brian replied to Althea. Althea, the scammer, replies back, glad you are doing fine and keeping safe. Of course, he didn't say that. He just said, sure, no problem. He didn't say he's safe. He didn't say he's doing fine. So this is kind of an automated scammer's reply. I'm sorry to bother you. I'm unavailable over the phone. There's the unavailable by phone. I am only here with my iPad. I just need to get an Apple gift card for a cancer patient. It's her birthday. I promised her a gift card, but I can't do this now because currently I'm traveling for a week to Bainbridge Island. Can you get it from any store around you? I'll pay back as soon as possible. Kindly let me know if you can handle this, so I can tell you the amount and how to get it to me. Not to the cancer patient, but to Althea. But first, a security question. So Brian replies back again and says, sure, but first a security question. Tell me the name of the street that Skip used to live on in your area. So Brian knows this is something that only the real legitimate Althea would know. Brian explains to us, the first email was received Friday, August 18th from a longtime known associate. Her email address was initially displayed correctly in the message received, but at JDLR, she wanted me to reply, which I did. So when I saw this JDLR, I thought, well, he's got something else in parentheses there. What is JDL? I bet maybe I'll have to go Google that. And I read the rest of this, and a few seconds later, I went back and, oh, just doesn't look right. Brian knows me well enough. JDLR just doesn't look right. Section 2. When I started the reply, her email address changed to @Hotmail instead of the initially shown at AT&T. I examined the internet headers in the original message and found the reply to line which caused the change in her address. To play along with the game, I responded with just the words, sure, no problem. Within minutes came the response, which was the big trap, several buzzwords raising red flags all over, such as not available from my phone, cancer patient, Apple gift card, and the classic, I'll let you know the amount and how to send it to me, not how to send the cancer patient, but how to send to her. Let's see. At this point, I knew 100% it was a scam. I then responded with a security question, never got a response. How rude. The scammer could have taken a guess what the street name was. I called a long-time known associate, and she was aware of the problem and had already changed her password. She said that her email server or account must have been hacked, but I don't think she was aware of the real problem. I suspect her cell phone itself was hacked because not only were the messages being sent from her correct email server, but to everyone on her contact list, which is normally stored on the local device, or her iCloud account, which probably was also compromised. I disagree with that part, Brian. You can create contacts and store it only on your device, but that's not necessarily the default. I've never seen it as the default. Maybe in Brian's experience, he has seen that as the default, but I've normally found when you create a new contact, it's going to be in your, whatever your email host is, in the contacts list there. And this one was, let's see, where was Althea? Hotmail.com. Yeah, so that hotmail.com is a Microsoft property, so it would be stored in the Microsoft contacts. So anytime they hack that Microsoft account, they'd be able to get the entire contacts list without hacking the phone specifically. Finally, she mentioned that just last month she had visited Africa and didn't think that was a problem. And the real problem that Brian's alluding to is that they've got her contact list and they are still working it. They can continue working it beyond the time which Althea changed her password, because they've already copied out the entire contacts list, most likely. Now they can't send, but they can't continue sending emails from Althea's email account if she's changed her password, right? Yeah. So, but chances are it's an automated thing that got the whole contact list and sent out a whole bunch of them, and that's why Althea knows about it at that point. So let me go see if Brian's got some responses to those comments from me. And I'm not seeing him here. Okay. Now, I think that's all I have for flagged emails for today. I have a little more to report about my experience with Zoom on Big Beast Build. At the end of Saturday's show, I tried changing my background to be blurred, and it locked up the computer. I'm using the word lockup rather than crash because I don't get a blue screen. None of the programs close, just everything freezes up. I can't get any keyboard response, no mouse response. I can't get to Task Manager. The only thing that I can do is hold down the power button on Big Beast Build. However, one other thing I haven't tried, can I connect remotely to it from Baby Beast using my LogMe and Rescue? Because when I make that connection, I do have the capability of bringing up Task Manager without doing remote control. I can give commands to the computer without doing remote control. So if I can do that, that tells me that The motherboard is still functional, it's just not responding to any keyboard or mouse input. And that's locked up. But I did some more experimenting with that. When I went into reliability history, let's go bring that up. It pointed me to let's see, that one was, it was pointing me repeatedly to this RE Central Service, seemed to be high on the suspect list. So researching that, I found that that has to do with, oh, now I'm not even remember how to get to that. But anyway, that has to do with the new capture card that's in the computer. So it kind of implied that that was having a problem with the Zoom blur background. Experiments since then makes me think, I don't think that's the case, because I prevented that from auto launching and I removed the card from the computer and still had the same problem. I tried to go install an older version of Zoom, which I have a older version stored on my computer. Hang on. When I tried to install that, I was told that I would not be able to log in with that. It gave me the minimal version number that I had to have in order to log in. So I tried to go download an older version of Zoom and was told that it was unavailable due to system maintenance. Now, I haven't tried downloading that again today. So here's this up to down. They have old versions of Zoom available. Now I'm getting through this a different way. I'm not liking this. Install old version of Zoom. As far as I can tell, the Zoom website does not have this. So this is in zoom.us.zoom.english.uptodown.com. So this site, up to down, I did some checking on it, and it has a good reputation. And the version that I need, let's see, I made a note over here. Where is that at? Where did I do that? Oh yes, I remember where I stored that. Zoom installers. Here we go. In this folder, I need 5.12.2 at least. 5.12.3 would work. I'm going to try this 5.12.6 and see if it's available. When I click download here, I was told it's not available due to system maintenance. I just had the feeling that I didn't think it was due to system maintenance. I think it's something else. Right now, I do not have Zoom installed at all. It is completely uninstalled. And by the way, Wintermute did send me a comment telling me which file controls the settings on Zoom, and I did verify that I can delete just that file, relaunch Zoom, and get a fresh start. So I don't have to uninstall and reinstall Zoom in order to test variations. And Brian, to your question, yes, I did try other backgrounds, and the other backgrounds cause the same symptom. And this took a long time to try to get there. I'd like it for you, somebody in chat, to try this. Do that. Here's where it failed. Do that search that I did, something like install old version of Zoom. Click on the link that goes to uptodown.com and see if you can download one of the old versions, because this just feels to me like, I know Zoom doesn't, I don't think Zoom likes older versions being available somewhere, and I'm wondering if they somehow put the kibosh on this. Then I'll hit channel comments and then come back to chat. Now this one I still have on here because I haven't replied to him yet to tell him where I responded to him on Friday. This one, you have a real talent for storytelling. I was hooked from the beginning to the end. Well, I was hooked right away when I read this. I thought, what a kind comment this person is making. Who was that? Oh boy, it was this Grow YouTube Views. Another one of these ones that I'm going to report: unwanted, commercial content, or spam. It was such a nice compliment though. And then hide the user. Turns out to be a jerk. When to mute. Settings for Zoom are here. Users, your name, app data, roaming Zoom data. So I even put on File Explorer, I put that on a quick launch somewhere here. Let's see, what is it called? I think they call it data. Did I lose it? I don't see it there. See, the last folder name here is data. So it should show up here in my pinned items near the bottom. Ah, it's not there. Did I put it over here? Ah. I wonder if oh, you know what? I'll bet what happened is I pinned it there and then the computer crashed. And so that didn't get saved. Because when you make configuration adjustments during a session of Windows, if your computer winds up crashing, then those changes that you made during that session may be rolled back. So let's see, can I go this way? Yeah, if I Control-C, copy that, press Windows key, Control-V to paste that, then go change this part to, I got to use my correct username there. I think it's DougBetts. And I'll copy all of that. See if that gets me there. No, it doesn't. Take the space out. Does that get me there? No, it doesn't. Is it Doug? Yeah, there it is. So zoom.us.ini. Delete that, and that will get me a new launch. So thank you for that, Wintermute. When you start Zoom again, you'll have to relog in. Zoom.us.ini will be recreated you'll get default settings, no blur. Can't see a way to just disable the blur, save for doing it from within Zoom, which obviously you can't do when blur is freezing the computer. But that should save you from having to reinstall Zoom. And yes, it did. Thank you. This one, Nate, the Nintendo fan, in response to the 5 steps resolving blue screen of death, says I use Linux, though Ubuntu? Yeah, I really didn't understand the point of his comment, so I'm not going to reply to him. Thumbs up and heart, and this one I got to respond to and give them a link. All right, so now, before chat, I think Ken said he was going to have a show today. I think I heard him say that. So let's go redirect. Josh put in all these schedules up to Christmas time. Here's a premiere at 9:30, so I've got less than 2 minutes to go. Chat room. John Williams, hope Monday is going good. Ran audio, no audio. Quiet Doug. Quiet Doug. Ran Israel. Says good, can hear you now. Alice can hear you now. Just wondering if Big Beast would freeze up using other type of virtual backgrounds. I saw that earlier and responded already. Hi Doug, it seems strange you're having problems with Big Beasts. I guess the other Dougs are messing with you. Yeah, they play practical jokes on me all the time. Download link seems to work. So Rand was able to download the older version of Zoom, right? When I go to that website up down, I come up with apps for Android, trying to find something. Well, that's what you got to do. Go do the Google search, older versions of Zoom. Do it that way. Don't go straight to the website, because then you got to find what you need. Do the Google search for it. I wish someday to have Synology NAS. Yeah, somebody asked how people back up their Synology NAS. I don't have one, and I have no knowledge about that. I suspect people have already responded to that question. I think they make backup software that could be off-site. I think if you call them for tech support, maybe they'll direct you to one. In fact, I found some other conversations reporting that a employee of Zoom was making older versions available, and I followed that out, and it turned out to no longer be valid. Business client, Zoom updates regularly, but the updates seem half things sometimes. Now, another thing I was thinking about doing was restoring to a older backup image on Big Beast Build. Okay, it is time for Ken's show, so I'm going to go ahead and bounce out of here. Have a great Monday, everybody. I did not go up to the lake on Saturday because of the weather in the area. That's or Sunday. That's delayed till next week. All right, goodbye.